Pastors often claim that Jesus fulfilled the prophecy in Daniel chapter 9 verse 24, but let's break it down and see why it's not so clear-cut. In Daniel chapter 9 verse 24, the angel Gabriel gives Daniel a prophecy about the future of Israel 70 weeks or 490 years. Gabriel says 6 key things will happen by the end of these 70 weeks. Finish transgression. End sin. Make reconciliation for iniquity. Bring everlasting righteousness. Seal up vision and prophecy. Anoint the holies of holies. These 6 actions aren't random. They're part of a bigger picture of restoration for Israel. But to fully understand this, we need to put ourselves in Daniel's shoes and understand what he was seeing and what texts he was reading. Daniel is in Babylonian exile when he receives this prophecy. He's living through a time of judgment and purification, and he's reading the prophecy of Jeremiah about the 70 years of exile as found in Jeremiah chapter 25, verses 11 to 12. Daniel sees that the exile is nearly over, and he is praying for Israel's restoration. He's looking for hope, and God gives him this prophecy about the future of Israel. This prophecy of 70 weeks is directly linked to the Babylonian exile. Why 490 years? The 70 weeks are 70 periods of 7 years, and 70 times 7 equals 490 years. The number 7 ties into Leviticus chapter 26, where God warns Israel that their punishment will last 7 times longer if they disobey. This gives us the backdrop for why 7 years is significant. Now let's break down the 490 years in the prophecy. First period, 7 weeks or 49 years. This is when Israel returns from exile and begins rebuilding Jerusalem, both physically and spiritually. Second period, 62 weeks or 434 years. Israel continues rebuilding but lives under foreign rule, waiting for a complete redemption. Final period, 1 week or 7 years. This is the time of final purification and spiritual renewal for Israel. But when pastors point to Jesus as fulfilling this prophecy, we need to ask, did Jesus complete the finished transgression, the end of sin, or the anointing of the holies of holies? The answer is no. The holies of holies isn't referring to Jesus. It's about the temple in Jerusalem, a place where God's divine presence dwells. In Jewish tradition, the anointing of the holies of holies refers to the consecration of the temple, not a person. And that still hasn't happened. The temple isn't restored, and Israel hasn't fully experienced spiritual renewal. Furthermore, throughout history, figures like Cyrus the Great and high priests were called Messiah because they played key roles in Israel's restoration. They weren't the ultimate fulfillment of the prophecy, but part of the process. So let's circle back to Jesus. While some claim he's the fulfillment, look around. Sin is still here, and Israel's complete restoration hasn't happened yet. That's where Christianity uses the idea of the second coming as an apologetic to explain away why Jesus didn't complete these key elements of the prophecy in his first coming. The second coming wasn't predicted in the Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible. It's a later theological addition meant to address the unfulfilled parts of the prophecy. In conclusion, the 70 weeks prophecy in Daniel is still in progress. It points to Israel's redemption, spiritual purification, and the ultimate restoration that's yet to happen. Jesus didn't complete this process, and the unfulfilled aspects of the prophecy remain for the future.